Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the 7th Esports World Championship. We're coming to you live from Seoul, South Korea, here in the Nexon Arena. My name is Reed Rapid Melton, and joining me is Marika Aki Kennard, the support player for the South African representatives.
Hello, I used to play for the South African team, and today I shall be casting. Let's see if this goes well.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a trial run, so we'll be seeing how this goes. But hopefully you guys are ready for some League of Legends action. We've been switching it up with some different esports, and now it's all come down to the semi-final matchups that we'll be broadcasting for you today. So coming up first will be China versus Switzerland, and we've seen dominant performances from Switzerland as they arrive here in the semi-finals undefeated, which is pretty incredible considering some of the very strong nations that have been competing like their opponents here in China, also undefeated and extremely strong and very well regarded. I think multiple players in Challenger in China and even some with professional competitive experiences. So definitely favorites in most of their games. We'll see if that converts here into some wins.
I've spoken to quite a few teams, and most of them think China has the win here, clear win. But we faced Switzerland in the groups, and they really showed really well.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been really impressed, and here we're going to take a look at exactly how both of these teams made it here to the semifinals. China with a win over a very strong Russian squad, and Israel losing to Switzerland sent them in here to the semifinals to face off against China. Now, on the other side of the bracket, a Serbian win over Thailand sent them in to face off against Korea, who took a 2-1 win over Romania. Now, of course, our first match is China versus Switzerland. Immediately following that, we'll have a semifinal best of 3 between Serbia and Korea. Korea, very strong IESF region, has won every single IESF with one exception where Switzerland took it home. So let's see our matchups for today. NRF versus Yama, Avenger versus Koala with a hat, Destron versus Laggly, Avenger versus Pride, and of course Teacher versus Wild Joshi. And some switch-ups there. I believe Destron played jungle yesterday, so I'm not sure if they're going to be swapping roles in here or if those are just a little bit out of order. But we'll find out once we get into the game. Does look like most of the players are ready in champion picks and bans, so we'll see if we can get this started up here in just a second. I am so excited for the semifinals, and Marika's going to be helping me out here, so we'll see if we can have some pro analysis along with it. I mean, I've been playing in the group stages for South Africa, so at least you've had an experience here at IESF. What has it been like representing South Africa?
It's been amazing, really. It's been an amazing experience. These teams are so good. It's such a different scene for us. But out of all of this, I just want to mention we have to watch Koala with a hat.
Yeah, I actually got a chance to talk to him earlier about the Swiss esports scene, and it's actually been really cool. So going to talk about that here in just a second as we look to get into picks and bans for game number 1. There you can see China on the left-hand side of your screen, in the blue, Switzerland on the right in the red, and the first ban already coming out. There is Lee Sin, and like we said earlier, the name's a little bit out of order. So Destron is in the jungle, not mid. Even really strong carry player, but a little bit outmatched in at least some of their their quarterfinal games. We'll see if he's able to step it up there. And of course, there is one of, if not the star player of the Switzerland team on your screen, Wild Joshi. A lot of international experience. We'll see if that pays off here, and no questions asked about that Gangplank ban. By far Even's best champion. If you take a look at any of his games played, you're going to notice he is a monster on that. So no Gangplank out there. Lee Sin, Lulu taken away from the Vici Gaming Academy squad representing China. And of course there is a Yasuo really targeting Even there in the mid lane.
I did expect the Lee Sin ban. He's been dominant in every game we saw. Same with Lulu, especially in the Chinese region. But yeah. Yasuo, in the current patch, you don't want to face that.
Yeah, Yasuo very strong before some of the nerfs to the offense tree, so nice to see him taken out there. And Jax, it doesn't get a whole lot stronger as far as itemization besides Winsu's Rage Blade, so not a surprise to see the Jax banned there versus Yama. Dr. Mundo, definitely a power pick this tournament. We've seen him have a very strong showings here, and this is going to take us into China's first pick.
Well, that health regen on Mundo changes the game immensely. And Gangplank's ability to just destroy an AD carry with one barrel
Absolutely, and we actually got a chance to see that a lot yesterday from Even. We won't be seeing that this game, but an Alistar hovered over. I'm not sure how you guys do your picks and bans, but picking support this early is making a very strong statement.
I think Alistar is a huge power pick right now. You can protect your whole team. You can make great engages. No, he is definitely a great pickup for China, especially for first pick.
Right, and giving that to Teacher, it's been his preferred support, at least over the group stages. Now, we didn't get a chance to see a lot of China during the group stages, but locking in Alistar first, so pretty guaranteed support pick over the course of many, many different seasons. I think we've seen Alistar occupy top lane, jungle, mid lane, and support, so he's been making his rounds, but for right now, he's probably going to lock in for that support role, and that's going to send us over to Switzerland. Now, for Switzerland, there are a couple of very important picks to watch out for. One of them is Anivia. It's been what Lagally has been incredibly dominant on. One of the strongest Anivias I've ever seen, even outside of IESF. So usually strong control mages there, and we were talking about support champions being locked in first. That is a Tahm Kench.
I can't believe they let that slip. Wow, that Tahm Kench.
So strong right now. You have to fight through 2 health bars, it seems, twice as strong, and man, looking at that Tryndamere, something tells me Even's not going to lock that in, and if he does, it's going to be a little bit exciting there. But yeah, Tahm Kench, incredibly strong, and really good heads up there by Switzerland to notice what power picks are still left open and go ahead and grab that away along with Lucian.
Lucian, yes, he's a very strong AD carry right now. I would say he's one of the top. Actually, he is the top right now. The damage output this tournament from Lucian has been crazy. Every time.
Over back on the Chinese side, that decided to lock in a very strong, if not the strongest jungler here. Elise gonna get taken away there, and Destron locking in Tristana for Avenger. Now, of course, Avenger, the former name for the Chinese AD carry TNT, did confirm that they are not the same player, even though he did used to play for Vici, so just want to make that a little bit more clear, and he'll be playing Tristana versus Lucia. Now, 2 more picks coming in for Switzerland. Are there any power picks left open that you really see?
Before I go into that, I really want to mention they're going for the tower push. China will go here for the push instantly. You can see that with the Elise getting around fast and Tristana pushing towers like a boss. So yeah, yes, Rek'Sai coming.
Yeah, you can just get up to the turret, start the siege here, and 2 more picks, like we said, coming in for Switzerland. They're still discussing this. You can see the communication between the players, wanting to see what combines with this. Now, a Morgana would signal a very, very strong ability to protect fragile carries. Lucian, he's pretty good at protecting himself, so this might be setting up for Lagally either on a Morgana mid, or possibly rotating Tahm Kench to a different role too here. A lot of flexibility here, but most likely going to be that mid lane Morgana.
You see Tahm Kench at top lane now and again, in solo queue at least, but I'm not sure if Switzerland will pull that out yet.
They haven't shown an indication of doing that earlier on, and at least from the games that I've gotten a chance to watch of Switzerland, I would expect that to be support. But 2 last picks, that Hecarim pick is huge, and it has been a pick that NRF has used to incredible effectiveness over the course of this tournament. Absolutely devastating, and it's going to take a very strong top lane pick from Yama to be able to deal with that here. Teacher also hovering over the Ryze pick. We did get a chance to see Even on play 1 game of Ryze during the group stages, if I'm not mistaken, and that's what's going to get locked in for him there as well. Very scary champion lineup here for the Vici Gaming Academy team representing China, and for Switzerland, they've got 1 more pick left to either make use of their flex picks or most likely look towards a top lane pick to go up against NRF.
But going against the Hecarim at this stage it's going to be hard, because we saw yesterday in a game, Hecarim could just melt anything.
Yeah, very, very strong performances from that champion in this tournament, and it looks like a last pick could be a Zed. That's a little bit interesting. Zed did receive quite a few very powerful buffs here. May not have fixed some of the core issues that keep pros from picking him, but that's the hover over, and it's getting locked in. That's the Anivia I was talking about. One of Lagally's signature champions, if not his strongest champion this entire tournament. It's going to be amazing to see him match up against Even's Ryze there in the mid lane.
And of course, the solo queue Tahm Kench getting pulled out instantly. Oh, wait.
No, they're swapping it away. If that's a top lane Morgana, it's been a long time since I've seen that. And yeah, making use of some of that flexibility, sending her all the way down to the support role, and Tahm Kench top lane. A big power pick that we've seen for a very long time, but then really fell off recently in the last couple of preseason patches. Well,
they were toying with us here, but I really hope they don't make a last-second switch. Yes, no, it's through. Morgana's
They got 18 seconds left. Anything can happen, but I feel like people only say anything can happen when nothing's actually going to happen. You can see Koala with a hat there. No hat on. I'm very disappointed. I told him he needed to, get into character, but that's going to do it for Champion Picks and Bans. Let's go ahead and get into game number 1 of the 7th Esports World Championship semi-final match. China taking on Switzerland.
What makes me really happy is to see the support pick heal these days, because they just anticipate that ignite on the support.
Let's go ahead and get into game 1. We've got players loading in on your screen. Game 1 is coming up. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first of our semi-final matches, China versus Switzerland. All 10 players out onto the Rift. Hope you guys are ready for some great semi-final League of Legends action here, the 7th IESF World Championship. Let's go ahead and get things underway. You can see a lot of focus here from the Chinese team as they single-handedly walk top lane. Now, there's a strategy that Chinese use every single game, and usually they walk into the middle of the enemy jungle, most likely on the top side, go for deep wards. You can almost, I guaranteed, expect the same thing here. Now, possible catches there on Yama, but they're looking for the ward kill, and they get it.
Well, at least they're covering, but we can see Switzerland moving up slowly. They are trying to counter this. They're not going to let this one go.
Yama might be in a little bit of trouble, but this is not a kill pressure, but we're actually going to see Even walk right in. Going to walk into the sun. There's actually a jump on it. Avenger jumps right into the middle of the enemy team. There's Koala with that. He's going to give up first blood. Laggily going to give up the reset. We're going to get hit by the reset. The rocket jump right on top. That's going to be the egg, and Laggily will give up another kill. China with 1. They're going to get 2. They might even get 3. No Yama able to flash away, but a very strong invade from this Vici Gaming Academy squad.
There was definitely a lot of miscommunication there, because they were 3 people against 5. They should have seen that coming. 2 people were moving way too slow for this.
Yeah, a little slow on the reaction there, and for most of the games that China has played, they have not come out with kills off of this invade. They just want to put down a deep lane swap ward. Now, they didn't get the ward plays, but they did pick up a couple of kills, and you can really see the power behind what those kills have really added. A cloth armor picked up in addition to that corrupting potion for NRF, and of course the other kill allowing boots to be purchased by Avenger. So starting off here in the lane phase, we're actually going to see a lane swap occur here. It's actually kind of rough for Tahm Kench to do. He's got a really long tongue that can CS, but that's going to be just about all that he's getting with Avenger and Teacher playing that lane very aggressively.
Well, China just definitely made a plan for this. They are prepared, and I believe their top is going to push way faster than Switzerland's, especially with Tristana. Like I said, they're going for the early push. You should be making our way top very soon.
Yeah, you will be seeing that. It's just going to rotate all the way up there. And actually, Teacher into the enemy jungle is going to show himself here, just trying to disrupt this buff. He's going to get a double knock up there. Actually knocks up the red buff too. And here comes Destron actually going to force Koala and Yama out of their own jungle. And one of the biggest things about this is that off the lane swap, NRF double jungled. And so he was actually able to get a little bit more experience, whereas bottom lane, there's not really any pressure being put out by Pride and Wild Joshi, who have been one of the strongest facets of this Switzerland lineup.
We don't see Switzerland reacting properly to this, because they can see China is going top instantly, but they're still going for the jungle. I'm expecting to see a counter push from Switzerland, but a bit delayed.
Here we go. We got blue buff being taken down here. A little bit of a consolation prize there. Koala with a hat helping take it down. Really looking forward to seeing how this Tahm Kench works out in the top lane. Usually seen as support because of how incredibly effective he is at protecting an AD carry. But for an ADC like Lucian, you don't really need a whole lot of protection from him. He's pretty self-sufficient. Not sure what Yama's doing in the fog of war there. Here we go, gonna get that tunnel under the wall. Not for a gank, but they're gonna gank the turret and look to trade. Actually, they're not even gonna trade turrets. You mentioned at least walk top lane for that.
But they turn around apparently.
Yeah, so not going to go for that early turret trade top, but that is where a lot of Vici Gaming Academy are spending their time. See a lot of just roaming around through that top half of the jungle, and Teacher primarily spending his time just trying to control that half of the map. And this is going to give Avenger a very safe early game, and might set up for a very dangerous mid game.
Well, he doesn't really need help pushing that tower, but there's a bot tower going to Switzerland as well. And in a tower, they can't let this happen without contesting anything. This is very risky from China, letting them get this extra gold.
This is a little bit out of position. We were talking about Teacher and how he's been wandering around that upper jungle to secure it. Well, in the preseason patch, second-tier turrets are very, very easy to take down. A lot of changes to turret strength, having more health but less resistances. And this is going to be an incredibly strong push here for the Swiss team.
With only 3 members to defend from China. Good. No. Safely backing out.
Okay, so China does defend their second-tier turret effectively, but we need to see what kind of cost is going to come after that. Now, possible rotation for the Dragon for the Swiss roster, but I'm not sure if they're going to be willing to commit to that, knowing that so many Chinese players are on the bottom half of the map.
Well, the Chinese still have the gold lead, even after that tower push, but I'm expecting it to even out a bit more in due time. But a tower...
Ooh, dangerous teleport up to the top lane there. Yama almost had his teleport canceled by that turret dying, but he's finally in lane. It's going to be interesting to see what he does now that he's actually at a sizable 2-level disadvantage. So how do you deal with this? I mean, you play support for the South African team. Were there any situations similar to this that you encountered over your time in the tournament?
I would say our mechanics are not as advanced at this stage. But we would definitely just let the AD carry solo farm for a while, because you want that extra experience. We can see Alistar here is level 2, Tristana's level 5. This is what you want, especially on a Tristana, just to keep pushing.
Yeah, and pushing effectively, able to go ahead and put a lot of pressure on that top lane turret. Haven't taken it down just yet, but a light breeze is going to take that one out there. Just a few HP up there. And so Yama knows he's going to have to back away here, and will do so, just keeping himself out of danger, but in experience range, so he'll still be able to get some of that value there.
I am definitely expecting China to not try push this game too fast. I expected the early push, but not throughout the whole game right now. I think they're going for the late game, especially with that team comp, especially with the Rise and the double TP.
Right, it's going to allow a lot of flexibility as we get towards the mid to later phase of the game. But at least for right now, oh man, going in, going to get the combo onto Yama. He will be able to get his gray health to protect him here. That's that second health bar coming in, Yama backing away. Koala's in the front line there, Teacher dropping low, but he's going to be able to survive for now. Switzerland a little battered, a little bruised, but mid lane's where a little bit of the action's been going on there too. Even able to just shove Laggily away from that mid lane turret. Started with a Doran's ring, but he's going to have to recall and grab, actually not going for a tier first. Going to go ahead and start to stack up that Rod of Ages. He looks to build that up with components. Koala in the hat, gonna go down. There's Destron, locking him out for the 3rd kill of the game for China.
They have full jungle control, wards everywhere. This is beautiful from China. Extremely good plays. But I am expecting something with the teleports as soon as everybody has ultis.
You can see some of the deep ward coverage that China's put up in that upper jungle. And kind of a slow reaction to Switzerland pushing the bottom lane because Teacher was establishing all of that ward control. But now you're starting to see it really, really pay off. So exciting to see that. Now, Laggily not running teleport, as you've seen Anivia's do on previous patches. Preseason teleport, you don't get the discount if you go to turrets, so see less mid laners taking that. But at least for right now, the big thing for me to watch is going to be the way that these towers are pushed. We're already seeing the rotation from the Vici Gaming Academy squad down towards the bottom half of the map after taking that tower, looking to put some pressure on the turret with a very, very strong AD carry.
Well, we can see they're still putting all the XP into Tristana. They just want her to get to late game ASAP. They can't let this Anivia farm. This is one thing we know. She is so strong this patch. She can push so fast and just ward off any attack.
Even just CSing a turret. That is one of the weaknesses of Rise, at least if you don't have, super low cooldowns. You can have some struggles there with the wave clear top lane, though. Yama about to have some struggles. He gets the flash. That's that Dyrus flash you practice over and over again. Very difficult to land. He's able to pull it off immediately.
Well, we can already see what the Hecarim is going to do this game. melt everybody.
Yeah, and when you're doing that to a Tahm Kench, that's pretty impressive. Now, he's going to send him back to base to buy the components for what I can only imagine is going to be a Sunfire Cape, because that's the only thing you can build Bomby Cinder. So he's going to be working on that, but he's not quite on the same level that NRF is. He's already got his extra boots, going to give him extra damage thanks to that Warpath passive, and see if he continues to go for the split push or rotates down to help the rest of his team, now that there are several level 6 champions on the map for VG Academy.
I would like to see Morgana doing anything. Oh, she's going to zone, but not getting much from this.
Yeah,
Blue buff secured by China.
Nice binding. That's that I can prove I can hit my binding that you just throw out to make sure that everybody knows that you can hit them. Not really too effective, but Yama's going to play this one carefully. He knows that he's going to get a bunch of CS pushed towards his way, and should have a reasonably decent position up there in the top lane now that the lane is pushed towards his turret, but it looks like he's not actually even being allowed to freeze it. Then RF comes back into lane to make sure that it heads all the way into turret.
Well, the problem with not having a damaging top lane at this patch is Hecarim is going to keep pushing, and then Tahm has to make a choice when Hecarim TPs. Is he going to give up the tower?
Combo onto Pride, but he's just going to jump back away. Teacher will take a lot of damage for that, but he's an Alistar. I don't think he's too worried about that. You can see Avenger content to push forward and make those trades because he knows he's got the minion wave there to back him up.
I'm really liking this Alistar Tristana combo. It's going to be great for engaging, especially against the Morgana.
Waiting down there in the brush. They've got a pink ward. And look at Even. Imagine if that was a champion. Just doesn't even stand a chance. Now, okay, well, now that Rise is out of mana, he stands a chance. Just watching him painfully auto-attack that down. But he'll get a lot with that blue buff. And blue buff actually now does give you ability power as well here in the preseason. So that's going to be pretty effective. Also effective at taking dragons, and that's something that China is going to be exclusively have the rights to, at least for now. No real contesting there. Koala with the hats coming into the area, but he's not going to go for that at all.
I'm not sure why teams are still prioritizing dragons, and especially China. If they are going for the push here, like we've seen just now, I would expect him to actually go for the Blip Herald to get the push down. Especially against the Sinivia, and especially with the Hecarim trying to split push top.
I mean, if it's the free dragon, it's the free dragon, so it has to feel good there. Yama did not go for the... he didn't even try to eat Hecarim there. It's just like, okay, you don't really taste good. You got these hooves things that don't really fit in my mouth. So I'm not really sure what his aggressive push in there was. And he's actually starting to push this forward and try to actually duel NRF. I don't think that's really an exciting move, but oh man, we've got the dash back in, but Pride very low on mana, won't be able to cast a whole lot of spells, but he is able to dash and flash back to his turret. Great engage there by Teacher.
Yes, that's exactly what I meant against Morgana. Many people don't have the reaction speed just to get that shield off in time, especially with a flash combo.
Right, I think in this most recent patch, Alistar's headbutt speed, which it comes off, is a little bit slower, so you have to practice that a lot to get the headbutt pulverized combos off. I talking to the OCE support Blind Turkey, who's having some struggles with that. So nice to see the Teacher's been practicing that out, and he's able to get in there with those nice combos even before Wild Joshi can hit those black shields.
Well, he's seen just on a push, of course, very strong. This is a tower going down very soon. But I'm not seeing any teleport plays yet. I think they're planning something big.
Right, you would expect to see NRF, and at least some of his previous strategies have involved very, very heavy teleport usage. But now that it does have a very long cooldown, no matter where you use it to, maybe taking a little bit more time to think about exactly where he needs to do that. And really all that they've needed him to do is just stick up in the top lane, be a strength up there, and he does have even CS with Yama, so that's actually pretty impressive by Yama to come back in that lane to that extent. But you're going to see a Trinity Force here out of NRF way ahead of schedule, so that's going to be... actually, he prioritized boots early, but is able to buy the Home Guard upgrade in this most recent 5.23 patch because everybody gets that for free at 20 minutes.
You can see an
Even actually wants to turn on the go button. Okay.
Running.
He wants to run really quickly back to his lane, back to his turret to get that. I thought he was going to go aggressive onto Yama, but just decides to move a little bit more quickly to run up there. He might have guessed the wrong direction that Yama was going to run, but going to go up there, and here comes Koala. He's got his gank hat on, and he's looking to burrow under the wall to go in here onto Even, but ganking a Rise can be a very difficult option to go for, especially since this is a Rise that not only has a lot of damage from that Rod of Ages, but might just be able to turn this around into a 2v1. Even will flash back away, though, so not willing to go for it. He had a big minion wave there, too, so...
that was a smart flash, though. That was a very, very smart flash. You might have been able to get a kill, but he didn't know if anyone else was close by. They have no wards in the top side jungle right now, from blue side at least.
That's very true. And you can see the observer showing exactly how few wards there were out there for Vici Gaming. A decent ward coverage at this 14-minute period here for our Swiss representatives. I was talking to them earlier because I was trying to get to know more about the Swiss esports infrastructure. I hadn't really heard of all Swiss teams before, but there's actually a really exciting LAN party structure there that does add for a lot of different options. Whoa, Teacher, gonna go in there, doesn't get the pulverize off the combo, and will headbutt Laggily back to safety. What I was saying about Swiss esports, so they're actually huge, like monthly LAN tournaments. There's a lot of esports going on, like just locally in their national scene, and this Swiss roster representing their country here at IESF is actually one of those teams that they played together in a couple of LAN tournaments. They've actually had a chance to meet each other, and they're playing with a slightly different roster than they run in those tournaments. But it's nice to see that infrastructure go here. Just chain CC onto Yama. He will get the opportunity to hit that gray health, but it just doesn't matter. He could have had 5 health bars, and they still would have killed him just as quickly.
But Yama is pushing without vision, and now China has secured vision again. This is exactly what I expect from China. This shot control.
Right, this should be a Rift Herald here. Every time the Rift Herald opens his eyes, he's going to take bonus damage. And let's see if that's an unupgraded. No, it is an upgraded jungle item, so the eye should close here in just a second. It's actually staying open, so I'm not sure how that works. But it's going to be a Rift Herald, first one of the game, going to China, who are going to secure that and give it to Tristana.
I'm expecting a quick push here and then a run to Dragon.
That's right, exactly in time for Dragon. About a minute left, so Avenger going to use the extra pushing power that Rift Herald buff is going to give him. Wait for another minion wave and start to look for the push up mid. And you should also see a reaction here by Teacher. He's just coming back from base. He's got a pink ward. He is going to be building towards a... I wonder if he's going to combine the Side Stone into his support item and go for that one. But usually we do see Faces of the Mountain completed off of those targets. So keep an eye on that and see what he wants to go for. But yeah, Dragon definitely on the Chinese team's mind. But they might look for the push here. However, pushing into Anivia, never an easy thing to do.
I think if they had wards here, Hecarim would destroy that Lucian instantly. I would not stand as close to a Hecarim if I was that Lucian. Brian having a lot of guts here.
I mean, NRF, we've seen him be incredibly gutsy, if I want to use your word choice there. Another word is brave, sometimes too brave, but we'll see how he likes to play the side lane. He knows that he has incredible assassination power and 80 carries, so it'll be interesting to see if he wants to put some extra pressure on to Pride.
But this was responding really well to this push, because we can see they want to get mid lane down. But let's see if they'll go for the Dragon trade.
It's kind of interesting to see China go for a push up here in mid lane because Laggily is playing a champion that has been known for just about as long as he's been in existence as being able to defend that. Yama versus Even, gonna get that gray health, just completely chain CC'd there. Not sure why he's continuing to walk forward. Flashes away and is going to escape alive. Meantime, China starting off this Dragon. Nice dash backwards. Pride will be able to deal a lot of damage over the wall, but just unable to get into the fight. There's a dash over the wall there. Spin to win. NRF gonna get 1 kill. Gonna give the reset over to Avengers. Gonna jump on top of Pride. Is running for his life. There's the flash back out, and immediately timed there. Vici Gaming Academy looking to go back onto Dragon and still will be able to secure that objective.
Switzerland's reaction time just not fast enough. They are not controlling the map like China can.
Big double teleport there by Teacher, locking down Wild. Joshu's gonna look to lock them down with some soul shackles, but gets this exploded by that shot. Laggily, he's got a second life there, but he's gonna need a few more if he wants to survive that double kill for Even 2, 0, and 3.
Now, the mid push. I at last.
I was gonna say, it's a lot easier when Anivia is dead, so pressuring that objective, causing the Swiss team to want to walk forward, try to fight that. They kill off Anivia, take the turret down. Tristana is so fast at taking turrets.
At this point in the game, Switzerland is just sitting on the back feet and they're not sure what to do. There's no play they can make to get with this fight. I don't know, back feet. That was a bad
I'm thinking about that, because like, you got a back foot, but back feet, like how many feet you working with here? Jeez. As, we'll have to keep an eye on that one. I guess Hecarim does have back feet. See, there you go.
The fun works?
Oh, sort of. I'll give you that one. 2 out of 10 for effort. All right, so back here around the mid lane, we've got Vici continuing their focus there. Looks like particularly for Even, he just wants to sit in a place, go for the cocoon. Wild Joshi is going to be sent back out to the wild for another 24 seconds as he looks to come back in there from base. Even is a monster at this point in the game. Only 19 minutes in, doesn't even have those home guards, can't even surrender. It's an 8-0 start for China, already off to a dominant lead.
They have 40 seconds.
And we don't quite have that 10,000 gold difference between both teams, but especially interesting to see sort of the inevitability of this game. You know that Rise scales incredibly hard. The same thing for Hecarim on his big engages, super effective later on in the game. You've got a Tristana already with a rapid fire cannon completed. Big fan of the rapid fire cannon. Gave them naming rights for that one, so we're all good. And it's going to extend Tristana's range even further as she continues to level up.
This is the problem when picking top. If you don't have pressure on the map, you can't save your carry. You can't save your teammates because there's nothing you can do. You have to save yourself. So Tom I've not seen him use ulti this game. He's not had any pressure. So China's just too dominant this game, and Lucian missing an ult.
Well, he did hit quite a bit of it, but there is enough life steal just from even just that Doran's play to be able to get Avenger right back up there in health. The culling, relatively low cooldown, especially with that Essence Reaver and the Zeal completed to get some more CDR up there. But my real question is going to be from the top lane. We just saw a big power spike, his NRF complete his Trinity for us, and oh, nice wall, forcing out that rocket jump backwards. Lagali is kind of a wild card for me here, because he's got the ability to just wave clear all day long, get these pushes in their favor, and it does look like Switzerland might just be able to take this turret. Avenger had his rocket jump pushed backwards, a little bit of an incursion up there by Koala with that. Nice black shield to keep that cocoon from locking him down. Here comes NRF, goes in, gets a double fear there, an immediate secure there on the AD carry. Yama gonna spin right back out forward, needs to run backwards. Is this a fight that Vici Gaming Academy can take? They get one kill. Some big crits coming out from Tristana in the backline. Yama will hit the Grey Hell. He's gonna stay alive for just a little bit longer, but down he goes. Destron securing the 10th kill of the game for China.
China is not dragging this one out. They just want to get the win and get to game 2.
Well, they're dragging a few corpses along with them as they push up the mid lane, able to take down Koala with the hat. Yama dead as well, and 3v5's never a good spot to go in for the fight there. Pride just getting it turned around on, goes down to Avenger, a combo right on top of Lagali. He is going to get knocked out of here. 12 kills for China as they push in for what started to just be pressure on the turret, and now it's going to result in an inhibitor.
This is why you don't let Rise get fed.
I don't know if it's about letting him get fed. I think he got himself fed pretty effectively. Apologies for my voice about to explode there. It's been a little bit of a long day here, so they're gonna keep things going as Rise taking the blue buff back along with him. Destron's just gonna have to settle for the Gromp, and to be fair, we did see the Swiss team grab a kill there in that matchup. They were able to put that one down, but I mean, Wild Joshi picked it up. He's a bloodthirsty support, so he's got to get a little bit of that, and did go for a Frost Queen's claim. Now, you do play support for your national teams, so how does Frost Queen's claim fit into this meta? Is it a...
I would love that item on Morgana, but if you're in the lead, because then you want to engage. At this point in the game, it doesn't really make that much of a difference, because you can't chase anybody down.
Now, you'd think that Frost Queen's claim would allow Anilia to apply double damage from Frostbite. Like, it just makes sense. It's I don't know, it's like peanut butter and jelly. It just goes together. However, unfortunately, it does not, and so Anivia will have to apply Frost herself. So Lagali, relatively strong. Is actually going to go for even more ability power, looking towards something along the lines of a Death Cap coming up next. Might delay that a little bit more for a Void Staff. Depends on what he wants to go for. But this is going to be an Anivia whose sole job this game is just going to be chaotic amounts of wave clear. However, with Baron up here now that we're past 20 minutes, and with Super Minions pushing down mid, that wave clear is going to be very, very difficult.
I think with that Tom ult, they lost quite a bit of pressure now because everybody's moving to Baron, or baiting it at least. But the pink ward problem I found in Baron Pit, that pink ward does not spot the ward at the back.
No, a little bit of a bug there, so... Okay, Teacher needs to take a few more lessons on to set pulverizes, but they're still going to be able to find a kill on a Koala with a hat. Nice aggression there from Vici Gaming Academy as they are able to take that kill and turn that into an immediate Baron. Don't have to worry about it getting Smite stolen away from them, and Baron, he's got a lot to worry about. 5 Chinese champions taking him down. Blue team securing that Baron and their 13th kill along with it.
And we get a little consolation prize from Switzerland, and get a small little... Oh,
just kidding. Turns out being able to put it down a ward with some scrying. Oh, there's the home guard. Even he's gonna lock down Brian. He's got so much damage. He doesn't want to be 3, but he just doesn't care. It's gonna be 1 kill, 2 kills if you count my vocal cords. Double kill coming in there, and might be even more as Vici Gaming Academy look to represent China underneath the 2nd tier top lane turret, but they're gonna decide better about it and back away, just content to push this in.
And now we see the stronger power against this Anivia push. Soon.
Very, very difficult to defend this. There's going to be Teacher walking forward. Nice knock-up on the Koala with that. He's going to get eaten out there. Yama going to be forced to use that Grey Health. Splits it backwards. Yama very, very low. He's going to go down even. Going godlike. Avenger going in. He's going to grab a double kill there for Rise. Avenger unstoppable. And China pretty unstoppable as well as they push through for their 18th kill. They're going to grab the Dragon as the consolation prize. And they are not stopping yet. Avenger, he's jumping one way and one way. Only the flash in. Pride going down with some pride there, but he is going to, I don't know, it looks more like a Kappa Pride to me. So, able to take down a 2nd inhibitor. China is just crushing through this base.
Hoping to better that KDA for the game.
One Nexus turret falling. Baron buffing powered Super Minions pushing in. 2 turrets gone and the Nexus to follow. China with a 19-1 score will claim game number 1 over Switzerland.
Will this be 3 games? Do you see this game of this series going to 3 games?
Got to do a lot of work to come back here. Congratulations, China, for their game 1 win, but it is a best of 3. So we are about to take a quick break while we get into our 2nd game of the day. Don't go anywhere. We've got more League of Legends action coming your way here at the 7th Esports World Championship.